Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of The Shy Girl's Guide to Veganism. This is our holiday episode in which I will be talking to you about some great vegan foods for the holidays and how to handle relatives who might not understand or be accepting of veganism. First off, I'm going to talk about tree-lined cheese. Tree-lined cheese is delicious. It comes in this soft French style nut cheese, which I have here. You can see comes in a little container like this. This one we've eaten most of it because it's really good. And this type of good cheese, it tastes really great on rice crackers and wheat crackers, but I prefer it with rice crackers. It's made from a cashew base and totally vegan. They have a website online, which I've linked you to. Disclaimer. There are links for everything I talk about in a master link at the bottom of this video. So even though I'm not going to mention it under every product, there is a link for it, I promise. This is well researched. So tree-lined cheese comes in this soft cheese and a hard cheese, which I've not tried because my local co-op doesn't carry that version. But there are two kinds of each cheese, and both kinds of the soft cheese are great. Treeline actually has a store locator on their website, so look at that, see if you have a store near you which carries it. And I believe you can request stores to carry it through their website. So if you can't find one, if you're okay with ordering online, Vegan Essentials, as well as two other websites, have tree-lined in stock, and they will send that to you. So highly recommend this to serve before your meal. It's great, and non-vegans love it. My dad loves this cheese, okay? He's not vegan, he loves it. Now we are going to move to main dishes. So for the main dishes, most famously, tofurkey. Tofurkey is delicious, and it's probably the most easily accessible vegan meat alternative because it's been around a while. A lot of chain stores carry it, and it's well worth it. It has stuffing in the middle, which you can see in this picture, and my mom, sister, and I eat it. We always have leftovers, so it is good for more than one meal. Great holiday treat. And if you're making tofurkey, do not forget to pick up tofurkey gravy. Very important. It tastes great, complements it very well, and it's not hard to make. Not hard to make at all. So my next one is Gardein. I do not have an example because we ate them. But I have 3 recommendations from Gardein. Their beefless tips, which my family loves, would be good with some potatoes and other vegetables at your holiday meal. They're savory and delicious, and I highly recommend them. The next 2 I haven't personally tried, but I've heard they're very good. Gardein's Holiday Roast and their mini turkeys that, like tofurkey, I believe they have stuffing in them. I'm pretty sure their holiday roast does as well. Like I said, those are linked so you can check me on those facts. Gardein just makes really great stuff, and if you haven't tried their products, try them because they are delicious. Not just the ones I mentioned, like all their products are really good. My last one for the main dish is Veggie Brothers, which you might not have heard of because you can only get this online. My mom found them. This is an example of one of their products. Probably looks a little strange right now, but see, you can see where it came from. It comes with the cooking instructions and the ingredients on here. This is a meat substitute stroganoff, and my sister actually loves this, so do I, and my mom. It's really good. The downside with Veggie Brothers, like I said, it's only online. It is pricey to buy from them because I believe there's a $50 shipping minimum. So you have to have $50 worth of products in your cart in order for them to ship it to you. And that's a lot of money. But if you're looking for something really special around the holidays, what they make, they make these. They are delicious. I really highly recommend it. I know it's expensive. You can get pot pies and all these other great things. So if you need like a quick, healthy vegan meal, you've got that. It's well worth it if you have that money to spend around the holidays or any time. Now we move to the dessert portion. For that, I am recommending 2 hot chocolate mixes. The first one I don't have an example of with me because I used it all up, but it's Alaska hot chocolate mix. It can be found in most Whole Foods stores and co-ops, and online places do carry Alaska. You can check my links. The next one is Coco Felice. I believe I'm saying that right. I can't be 100% sure because I'm pretty sure this is Italian, which I don't speak. And it's really great. Like Alaska, they both only use the vegan sugar. That means that it's raw sugar, cane sugar, not the refined sugar, which is refined through bone char, so it's not vegan, sadly. But they use the vegan sugar, and they're great. And say you want something else with your hot chocolate, add some marshmallows. These are Dandy's mini marshmallows. You can also get them in regular size. Oh, here's the right side. Okay. And they're great. They go great in your marshmallows, and the regular size ones are also great for roasting, which if you live in the climate where you can be outside at Christmas and you want to roast marshmallows, go ahead. We also roast them over the stovetop, which might be a fire hazard, but that's what we do. Then you want to top it off with some whipped cream. I've got 2 choices, both coming from Sojato. I believe that's how you say it. It's a German company. Got soy whip, and if you can't have soy, rice whip. Both are great, and they come out really well on top of the hot chocolate, just like the picture actually, for once. It's not lying to you. So I highly recommend these. They are great, and they're a really nice treat with your hot chocolate. So this portion of the broadcast is how to handle relatives around the holiday, and I should specify I mean non-vegan relatives, because if your vegan relatives are giving you a hard time, I don't know what's going on. So all my tips, or most of them at least, are coming from this book. It is called Vegan Freak, Being Vegan in a Non-Vegan World, and is by Bob Torres and Jenna Torres, who I believe are cousins. And if you need a gift for a vegan in your life, I recommend this book. Or if you're vegan and you don't already own it, I highly recommend it. They have a whole section on dealing with non-vegan people, and it's just marvelous. So my tips come from there. My first tip and their first tip when dealing with relatives, especially at the holidays, is to keep the food ethics conversation away from the dinner table. You can give them the concise answer of, I'm vegan because I don't believe what happens to the animals we eat and use for food products is correct. That's fine. But if they want more detail, tell them you'd be happy to talk about it after dinner. That is all I can really say to that, because you are going to be defensive if there's a hammering from you and you're getting upset, and then the person who asked you and the other person at the table might get upset and defensive because to them, you're attacking their traditions as they're carrying them out. So it's just a time when no real progress will be made. So wait until after dinner and just tell that person who asked you, I'd be happy to talk about this, but let's talk about it when we're done with dinner. And if they're interested, they might approach you again, or if you felt they were interested, you can approach them again. And if they just wanted to attack you, great, you probably got out of it. So another tip is try not to come across as preachy, which I I've heard a lot about, oh, the preachy vegan, but I don't really know if that exists. I'm sure people are preachy, but I don't think most vegans are actually preachy. But just be aware of that. Don't come across as preachy, because once again turns people off of the idea of veganism and gets them on the defense, which we don't want. So another thing you have to keep in mind is, especially if you are new to veganism, this is your first holiday season being vegan, understand that your relatives might be upset because they feel like, oh no, I can't cook for you now. What am I going to cook you? Of course, it's nice to offer to bring your own food, but if they insist on cooking for you, go over very explicitly what you can and cannot eat. So mention eggs and cheese and fish, because those are often left out of the arrangement, and honey. Even though I'm not too sure how many people are using honey at this time of year, still mention it because people will forget that. That'll help your relatives if they really want to cook for you. If not, say you'll bring your own vegan food, and it'd be nice if maybe they made some vegetables without, butter on them, so you could eat them too. That's not too hard to do, right? And remember that they also might feel like you're going against some family traditions. Just explain to them why you're vegan. Like, if it were me, I'd just say, I still want to practice these traditions with you, and I will, just in my own vegan way. And I'm not vegan because I don't want to practice them with you. I'm vegan because I don't like what happens to the animals. That's a very nice way of saying it. I believe it doesn't attack anyone, and it tells the truth. There you go. So just remember that they might be getting upset because of that. They feel like you are ignoring or opting out of family traditions, which isn't true. Veganism is usually not related to that. It's about something completely different, which you just gotta go over with them. So, you've got that one relative who wants to know your B12 levels every time you see them. Brush up on your facts. Tell them what you eat and what vitamins it contains, so they'll get off your case, or just tell them you don't want to talk about it, because that's also really valid, I think. But if you want to prove to them that you are healthy, which I have every faith in you that you are, because vegans are generally very healthy, actually. That's a myth. We're healthy, I promise. Then just brush up on your facts, and if they're the facts about what happens to the animals, once again, steer that conversation away from the dinner table. So, another thing to remember is that they might be attacking you or being rude to you because you are making them question their own traditions and beliefs. You are making them question foods they've eaten since they were babies, which, as someone who wasn't always vegan, while meat was very easy to give up, it was harder being a teenager and having to understand what was wrong with ice cream, and then going through that, oh my god, what am I going to do when I'm out with my friends type of, questioning, and all of that is just really difficult to go through. So understand that when you approach them and you're vegan, they might be getting really angry because they're realizing that, and maybe one day they'll go vegan, maybe not. Maybe they'll let that fear and anger keep them from that lifestyle, which is sad, but it does happen. It's hard to question things that you've been raised in, and we have to remember that's why they're being mean a lot of the time, because they're being forced to question that just by your presence, which I know you might not intend, you probably don't intend that, but it's what happens. So it's important to remember we cannot change everyone, and the holidays aren't a time to change relatives over to veganism, honestly. Everyone's already really stressed out, sadly, around the holidays, so tensions might be higher. I recommend just focusing on enjoying your family, because you might not get to see them often. I know that's the case with my family, and Just, if you have relatives who are always mean to you about it, just steer away from them. That's all I can recommend. Just steer away from them. And have a nice holiday. So, just remember the main tips are, don't talk about it at the dinner table, and remember why they're being rude to you. And brush up on your facts. That's another important one. So, I will be seeing you next week with a video on what can vegans wear in the winter when it's really cold out. Because that's kind of hard to shop for, since everything seems to be made with wool and fur. Fur seems to be on the increase in a way, even though I know that has a lot of protests against it and a lot of petitions signed. It just seems to be really prominent, which is kind of scaring me. So I will be showing you some vegan-friendly clothing that is toasty and warm, and some vegan-friendly footwear, because I know that Ugg boots are very not vegan, and then leather boots are very not vegan, so I found great alternatives, and I will be sharing those with you next week. So everyone have a great holiday, and I will see you in a week. Bye!